and welcome to the Enchantress Society with Tia Johnson, a place where you get to be you, where you get to unlock your magic in a sacred and judgment-free zone. The Enchantress Society is your witchy sisterhood of enchanting women who guides and supports you along your spiritual journey from the mundane to the magical. I invite you to sit for a spell as I interview guests and spill the spiritual tea on how we can create the magical life we deserve. Hello, here we are, second episode of the year. And it's crazy because in some ways it feels like time is just steamrolling. I'm not complaining because it's very cold where I'm at. And while I do appreciate the winter, I'm ready for what's next. Speaking of which, visualizing your year into reality. So we're going to jump some timelines here. All right, so buckle up, Buttercup. First, I just want to say that I hope you are doing well. I truly, truly hope that you are feeling well, that even if something is not panning out right or something's up in the air, a lot of things are uncertain. I hope that you keep your center. You still find your peace whenever you can. And don't let the noise overwhelm you. Don't let people overwhelm you. For example, I use myself. This morning, I did not do my regular, mind prep and things like that. There were some early morning calls that I had. I didn't really want to have early in the morning, but sometimes, it is what it is. And I didn't do my mind prep, the normal things I would do. I have to do them in reverse this morning, and it was chaotic. And not chaotic in a sense of, oh my God, no, the sky's falling, just out of rhythm. And that's the thing. Things will throw us off our rhythm. Sometimes it's just too much information that we receive. Sometimes it's just too many things and people that want one or whatever the case may be. And it's just like, shh, quiet, center. Okay, how can I break this down? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Everyone's happy, to the best of my ability. Everyone's okay, cool. And that's what I'm saying here. Because it's so easy for us to, I'm just getting a picture of a car on a road and then like going around the pothole, like, it's easy for us to lose control of the steering wheel, if you will. And sometimes that can create a sense of moving too fast, being reactive, all those things. So I really wanted to focus on visualizing as a way to keep us on track. Jump the timeline. When I say jump the timeline, I mean to cut down your learning curve. I mean to get you to where you really want to be in life without having to learn so many lessons because you may be repeating something that you don't realize, right? We all have cycles that we need to break. And I broke a cycle last year that I didn't even know was an issue until it became an issue. And then I was like, oh, shit. Broke that cycle. And about last year for 8 months, like right around the time I moved, from the time I moved to the end of the year, I had so much growth, so much change, so much everything just sped up for me. It was just like fast forward. And it's because I just really buckled down and focused on my personal growth, my foundational work. That's why I was such a huge component and still am of foundational work. And that's why I was so excited to relaunch the Goddess Mastery course because it's all about foundation, the foundational work that we need to help propel us. So here we are with visualization for 2022. Now, there are many ways to do this. Okay, people can make vision boards. Some people call it dream boards, manifestation boards. It's the same thing. Okay. And some people like to go and look at movies of what they want, like, oh, a love movie, or oh, I'm going to go, to this event, and maybe that's going to put me in a space of where I need to be. But it starts with us. So let's dive into this. Actually, before I dive into that, I want to talk quickly about the cosmos because the full moon is next Monday and Mercury retrograde is this Friday. So I'm also bringing this up because this plays a role in our visualization. If you are feeling like you don't want to be bothered with people, if you're feeling like you're just not productive, if you're feeling like you're unmotivated, you're tired, you're drained, you're just off, this is part of the reason why. And I talk to people over the years about how soon can someone feel the energy of, the moon phases when it's full moon, new moon, Mercury retrograde. Sometimes people get a little like, like, what do you call it? Antsy. I'm like, what is the word? And some people said, oh no, you can only feel it 3 days before, really 3 days after. But I'm noticing more people are feeling it a little bit beforehand. So if you are feeling these ways, take note of that because the full moon is not going to go away. It's going to come back next month. Mercury retrograde is still going to be here, right? So start taking note of how you're feeling, what you want to do during this time too. You might just want to eat more soup or whatever the case may be. Take note of all of that because when you go to visualize, you're going to need all the energy that will fuel what you want to bring into your life. So if you're feeling like you're in a funk and then you think about your work and you're like, oh, I'm just not a good, person right now because no, throw that out the window. You're just in sync with what's going on top of everything else that you have to deal with. Okay, so cut yourself a break. All right. So we got that out the way. And now for visualizing your reality, this is going to go beyond just what do you want for 2022? What do you want to see by the end? No, it's just what do you want to happen this year? Don't worry about in 3 months and 6 months, the end of the year. Let's just focus on what we want to attract into our lives. And I want you to know that you can change your life right now by the snap of your fingers. I know it may seem like, what? It's a switch. It's you making that commitment to yourself, that decision. Once you make a decision, the universe goes, okay, cool, got you. Then that's when you become proactive into obtaining that. Every time I made a firm decision, not, okay, yeah, that's cool. It's I'm moving. I'm ending this. I'm going to find this. Firm decisions. Not the definitely, maybe. What? Affirm, but really feel that. Think about something that when you made a decision, you felt that. It was like, yeah, that's it. That's for me. I'm going to that school. I'm applying to that program. That's me. Channel that energy. That's it. Start with that. That's for me. I'm going to make the decision. I don't care if you have to look in the mirror to do this. So first, I am here as a reminder. You can change your life. You don't need permission. You don't need to seek counsel. You don't need to follow a bunch of people. You can change it right now. I don't care. You snap your fingers right now and say, I'm making the decision to be committed to myself. I am committed to me. We make commitments to our job. We make commitments to other people. We make commitments to whatever the case may be. Make a commitment to yourself. I am committed to doing better by me. I'm committed to shedding whatever I need to shed to be who I need to be. Because who you are right now is great. But as you work on this personal growth, you will see a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month, 3 months. This person right now is already going to be old, an old form of you. Just like last year when I was working on my personal growth, the woman who hosted the Sex Goddess Summit was not the same woman who was hosting, again, the Goddess Mastery course. Right? At the core, yes, but I shed the old and I started visualizing more. So know that you can change your life in a snap of a finger by making the commitment to yourself, that firm decision, that knowing that, yes, this is what's going to happen. Full stop. And here's something else. I tell people often to zoom out. Zoom out of the situation, zoom out and think about your capabilities. Think about what exists right now while you're existing. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I talked about this with my students. You are one person in one city, in one state or one county, countryside, in one country, on one coastline, on one hemisphere, on one planet, in one Milky Way, in one galaxy. So if those big ass planets like Saturn and Jupiter can exist in the same space as our Earth, and if we can exist all together, things are somehow miraculously through the laws of gravity, what have you, we're all here, capable, spinning on our axis. Then think about what you're capable of. I mean, freaking planets are rotating on what? Right? You are living, breathing, capable. Think about all the things your body does for you without you even thinking about it. Of course, you can visualize this. Of course, you can call in things into your life. But we have to first understand, I'm all about framework. We have to first understand what we're capable of and what we are already doing. I'm communicating to you right now through the magic of Libsyn. I was just like, what's the name of my podcast network? Right? Through Zoom that allow me to record, and my project manager who uploads. All these things are happening so we can connect. To be part of this means that you have a portion of the support you need to fuel what you want to visualize. Remember what's already there, what's already around you. So if you're not feeling satisfied, you feel like what you're doing is not fulfilling, you have that calling that there's more, there got to be more. Because there is. But we just have to take time to be with our thoughts, and get in touch with our creative side. So if all these amazing things can exist and do all the things that they do, why can't we? So let's begin. Because we got to cover the framework first. I don't want to just tell you go visualize and then go out there. No, we gotta go a little bit deeper. So here's how you jump the timeline. I don't care if you get water, tea, coffee, get as comfortable as you can. I don't care if you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll take a quick shower. Get as comfortable as you can. You may want to turn off the lights, lower the lights a little bit, or put a eye mask over your face. You may want to have some music in the background or not, up to you. Set the mood. Tell people I need a moment. I don't care if you have to hide in the bathroom. It's okay. Tell people you need a moment so they won't bother you. Don't set a timer, nothing like that. This is free flowing. Take your several deep breaths. And again, you don't have to worry about the connection where you envision your roots coming out of your soles, your feet. We're making this as easy as possible right now, and we could go deeper later. So just take several deep breaths. Okay. And I want you to feel those breaths. And if you can, breathe from your stomach. So basically, you're going to expand your stomach. Okay. When you just take that deep breath in and out. And I don't care if you breathe through your nose or your mouth, but make sure you're using your stomach, not your chest, if you can. If you use your chest, it's okay. But it's more impactful when you breathe from your stomach. Okay. And I want you to feel that. Feel that breath. Feel that expansion. Okay. The inhale, exhale. We're slowing it down a little bit, because you slow down to speed up. So we're slowing it down. Deep, long breaths. Now pick anything. I don't care. It's the job you want to have, the spouse you want to have, the person who you want to be, the things you want to do. I want you to imagine first you as you are right now in those positions. So if it's you with the love of your life, this person, imagine them accepting you just as you are right now. What does that feel like? What does that look like? And I need you to know that there are good, decent people out there who will love you just as you are right now romantically. Okay, it's not always about losing the weight. It's not always about having the best skincare regimen. You have to first get comfortable with yourself, because you cannot become that next version of you if you don't understand who you are and where you're at and comfortable with yourself right now. And if you feel like, Tia, but I'm not comfortable, I do want to lose weight, etc., that's okay. That's an improvement that you want to do. But we're not beating ourselves up. We're not going to hate any part of ourselves. We're not going to feel like we're not good enough. We're not adequate. No, you are whole. You are complete. You are more than capable right now. So visualize what that feels like right now, that job right now. You right now admiring the future you. Feel how you feel right now. You could put your hand over your heart. It's okay if you get a little teary-eyed, but I want you to feel you, yourself. Check in. Okay? And it's okay. Take a deep breath, and you can spend as much time as you need right here. But for the sake of this podcast, I'm just going to move on a little bit. You could press pause. Now, I want you to imagine you walking into that career, that relationship, the next version of you. Just strut your stuff. Now, you may get a vision of you leaping over a block, walking around a rock. That's okay. They're just visualizations of you overcoming things. That's okay. I still have my hand on my heart, right? I'm saying walking into because what's meant for you is simply that walking into it, being receptive. So imagine what that feels like. What does that look like? You getting that job? Are you shaking hands with people? What are you wearing? Are you smiling? Did you pick out your desk? Is it sunny outside? Who are you celebrating with? Who are you going to tell? What's the first thing you're going to do? What's the relief you feel now that you got that job? Feel that. Now, I didn't even get into calling in the goddesses or angels or anything because we're starting with you. The magic is with you. Everything else is a bonus. So I need you to feel that. Oh, I just had a chill. I need you to feel that desire. I need you to feel like it's happening right now. You're turning the doorknob, you're opening the door. Who's there? Who's there with you? Who's celebrating you? Same thing with the romantic love. What is that person doing for you? Are they pouring your tea? Like, hey, honey, I got your tea ready. Are they surprising you with your Starbucks order? They're loving and supporting you just as you are and encouraging your growth. What does that feel like for you? What's the relief that's there for you? What does your house look like, or apartment, or trailer, or boat, whatever you choose to live? How is it set up? What do you do together? Do you play chess? Do you go to museums? Skydiving? What is it? I want you to play out these scenarios in its entirety. Seriously, I want you to have conversations. You can have it in your mind or you can talk out loud, but I want you to imagine as if that person is already there and you're trying to figure out what's for dinner, right? Just imagine it. When you do that, you're visualizing, even throwing cute little puns like, oh, you poured too much salt. I got all on the counter and you're laughing and the dog comes over wagging its tail. Create these scenarios. Your brain doesn't know the difference anyway. So when you're doing this, you're calling that in. You're making it your reality. The personal growth, you. What does the next level of you look like? I tell people often, it's okay to be inspired by other people's lives, but you should never want someone else's life. I don't care how much better you perceive they are doing than you, or how much better you know, whether it's financially or maybe they got the bigger house that you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Remember the example I gave you earlier. There are big ass planets that exist at the same time as our planet. There is more than enough room for you to gain everything you need and still exist with everyone else. This was a couple of episodes ago where I said there was like 1,000, I forget how many, but there's more than one billionaires in the world, right? Billionaires. They can all exist together. There are thousands upon thousands of multimillionaires and then millionaires, thousandaires, and so forth. If those billionaires can exist why can't you be bold and get everything that you want? Because the billionaires, they're getting their money from somewhere, and they're getting their money from the billions of people on the planet, right? There's always more than enough to go around. So there's more than enough room for you to be expansive, to be bold, to be even more beautiful, to be brave. There is no reason why you can't show up and show out. Be Saturn. That's it. Be Jupiter. Be the biggest planet in the room, and that's okay. It's okay. People will be in awe, like, oh my God, you see all her rings? Oh my gosh. But I want you to feel that. And if you're dealing with guilt, I just combined a guilt and fear. Wow. If you are feeling that, scroll back to, hold on, I'm going to pull up the podcast episode for you because I'm just now thinking about it. I usually have, if I make a reference to an episode, I would usually have it right here in front of me. But scrolling, I talked about guilt. It's episode 354, Personal Growth Series, Guilt Will Kill Your Dreams. So if you're dealing with guilt, which is, attached to fear, check that episode out. But please know that you can be 100% you. Now, in the process, I know for a lot of people, especially my witches, my enchantresses out there, it's not always safe for you to display your craft. So I understand that. So grow as you can and in the most safest environment, but know that eventually you may have to move. You're just going to grow so much that you're going to need your own space. And that's okay. And at that time, the universe will supply you what you need. Okay. And so again, feel what it would be like to look the way you want to look, to walk the way you want to walk, or to just move around the way you move around. Is your hair long, short? Is it, pixie cut? What's going on? What colors are you wearing? I remember years ago when I was doing this, I used to get a vision of a woman dressed in all black. And she was just she was sexy, but then mysterious. And I would think, like, is that me? Like, I would just get a vision of, like, oh man, like so one of my visions, one of the things that I always looked at as my next level me was to have a toned body and wear a 2-piece bikini. It's been one of my little goals in life. So I would just imagine what I would look like. Like, oh, I'd be so cute. And I have a cute belly ring. And, I would have a cute tan that would be even more golden. And every time I would just get this picture, like this visualization of this woman. And lo and behold, it ended up being me when I was wearing, the black and the gown and things like that. Now, while that took years because I was on a different path at the time, I wasn't at that time fully committed. That's why I say committed to my personal growth in that regard, in the physical regard. I was just a person who washed my face, didn't really look in the mirror. I wasn't into skincare like that. I gave up on it after a while. Okay. All right. But when I did began to hardcore get on that personal growth, especially the physical side, that involved me getting my teeth fixed. I paid out of pocket to get my braces fixed. And that's what I mean when I say, once you make the decision, the universe will supply you what you need. As soon as I made that decision, my orthodontist and my dentist were less than 5 minutes from my home. My orthodontist received accolades in the city, the best of orthodontist. And then we ended up having ties because he graduated from Penn. I was taking my master's at Penn. It was just the perfect storm. And I didn't have to wear braces for long. Then I start, well, a little bit before then, I started getting into skincare, but I was still trying to figure out exactly what worked for me. But my friend, she said, hey, I go to New York to this place called Skin Laundry and I get my face laser. I'm like, you know what? I'll do that. Again, the universe will supply what you need. And we would go there, whether it's bi-weekly or once a month, and we used to get our face laser. Okay. Then I had an umbilical cord hernia. That was fun at parties. I had to push my hernia back in. I'm in public and I'm just like, oh, no. That was uncomfortable. I could no longer just band-aid that by pushing it back in public or bending over to try and force it back in. I had to make the change. Once I made a decision, got the x-ray, saw the hernia, got the surgery, boom, just like that, like about a week or so, I was good to go. I can't rock a cute belly ring with my hernia poking out and hurting and stuff like that, right? So that's what I'm saying. Make the decision, be committed to yourself. I had to see it through. And once I got past that, then I was able to work on other things. And keep in mind too, it's okay if some things don't last long. I don't get my face lasered anymore. I am all about the Fenty skincare line. Let me tell you, okay? I'm never going back. It's Fenty all day, every day, twice a day, okay? But that's what I'm saying. We have to get through things to really learn what is truly for us or what works for us long term. And that's okay. All right. Doing this will help you cut down the learning curve and jump that timeline in your life so you can get to the good stuff. Now, last year, when I really buckled down, okay, reflecting from April to December, I almost couldn't believe it because when you're in the midst of it, you don't see it. So you have to zoom out and write down all the things that you've accomplished that worked so well for you. Yes, my circle is smaller, but that's okay. Because one day when I get my yacht, they're going to be there. I don't need a lot of friends. I don't need a lot of people, but that's okay. It's that growth that happens. I was talking to someone about this, and it was a Tupac quote, how he just said, and I'm paraphrasing, how the realest people have the smallest amount of friends because fakeness is valued more than realness, something like that. And I'm telling you this because the more you're committed to yourself, the more you are visualizing your reality, people will fall off. And I don't want you to feel guilty about this. I don't want you to feel like you owe people indefinitely. Some people just will not come with you. They can't. And it's not your job to stay at a certain level to appease them. You're only going to suffer. But you will see that the people who you're with are more than enough. I'm talking about your inner close circle. Okay, you can have friends, but I'm talking about your inner circle. You know, the people who've seen you ugly cry, the people who know your personal life, your personal business, the people who've seen you, from surgery right away. You know, people who've seen you in all different lives. Like, there's literally nothing you can do that would disgust them, right? Like, it's like they've seen it all with you. Those people, that's what I mean, right? Focus on this every day throughout the day. I don't care if you have 5 minutes to visualize what that feels like. When you see a couple, visualize yourself. Oh, that's so great. You know what? He would have his hand on my waist as opposed to over my shoulder, right? You know, when you see couples where the guy has his hand over her shoulder, or maybe they're holding hands, you might say, "Ooh, I don't like that because hands get sweaty." But we can lock arms. Start visualizing that as if it's an everyday thing, because that's what we're working towards, right? If you want to write a book, start that visualization process. Kickstart that with visualization. You can even visualize the end result. The end result I want is the book to be done, the cover. Now, when you do that, don't get too caught up in if the color is slightly off. Like, say you visualize yourself getting a job and you have a dark blue dress on. You go, finally, you're just like, oh my gosh, they love my resume. Now they're calling me in for an interview. You go to find a dress and there's a dress that's black and not dark blue. Get the black dress. You know, sometimes it's just a slight difference because of emotions, what the colors represent. Okay. Or you might see a tiger, but then you go to where you see a cat. It's a cat, right? So slightly different meaning, but it's a cat. Okay. So don't get too caught up in it. As you're drinking, as you're eating, well, you don't really embody that, but engross yourself in it. Really savor the sips. And as you're drinking in that coffee, that tea, that water, that whatever, drink. Oh, I am receptive. I am ready. Make sure you say I am. I am receptive. I am ready. I am where I need to be. I am calling in my desires. I am making way. Straight point A to B, from the universe to me. I am healthy. I'm receptive. I am blessed. I am favored. And then you're visualizing blessings showering over you, money coming from anywhere, people helping you. You never know who's observing you. That's my pop used to say. You never know who's watching you. So, focus on it. That's what I do when I drink my water in the morning or my coffee. And guys, I got to tell you, I'm acting like the first person ever to have an espresso. Like, I am obsessed. Okay. I need to order more pods. I'm going through these pods as if I'm a taste tester. It makes no sense. No sense. I love my Nespresso. Love it. I used to be a Keurig woman. Now I'm just like Nespresso all day. Um, so when I'm drinking it, I'm savoring it. We also have to focus on taking in where we're at. And even if you're someone who's like Tia, I'm a roommate, I got two other roomies. It's not the best situation. I understand. Zoom out and think, you know what? I have a roof over my head. I have a bed with blankets and everything like that. I can close the door in my room. And I'm going to use this time to focus on me. Maybe I go to a cafe later on. Maybe I could go to a friend's house and just relax. But for right now, I'm going to be in my room. And I'm going to daydream. I'm going to visualize. And then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start to make things happen. But the vision is what will keep you going. The vision. You can tweak, you can adjust, you can realign, you can regroup, but holding that vision is what's going to keep you on the course. So if you can just spend time each and every day, whether your peak hours are in the morning or your peak at night, whatever it is, spend that time to play out scenarios that you want in your favor, right? Because again, there are people out there who want to support you and love you and be there for you and root for you. There are people like that in the world. It's unfortunate that there's a lot of people who aren't like that, who happen to be the loudest, right? But just know that sometimes that holds so many people back when they want to visualize something. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't even have support for that. Like, shh, relax, relax, relax. You first have to make the decision to be committed to yourself. This is why I did not go in to just visualization. I'm all about the framework, the prerequisite, if you will. And then we're going to dive into it. Because else it's not going to work, or it won't work as well. Because there's stuff that we had to realize from within. Like the magic is you. And you exist among many great things. So why can't you be wildly successful? Not just successful. Why can't you be wildly successful in your own right, whatever that looks like for you? Why can't you have the job, the spouse, and you how you want to level up? Of course you can. Of course. There's more than enough space for you and what you want to accomplish. Just begin by committing to yourself and spending time throughout the day to visualize. There are times where I take breaks just to daydream. Just to daydream. And then I let it go. I'll daydream some more. I take note. And it's crazy when things happen because I'm still living. I'm not stopping my life. I'm not just like, oh, okay. No, go out there, do, feel, grow, try a new food, right? Try to learn a new word. You got to remember to constantly open yourself up to be receptive so you can see when that opportunity is there, when that blessing is knocking on your door. Because now we have discernment. Every opportunity isn't for us, right? Sometimes it's like, it's okay. But that one, yeah, that's it. Let's go. Okay. So in doing this, you have discernment. No, I'm not going to do that because you got the vision on lock in your mind. So maybe you're not going to hang out with that person anymore. Maybe you're not going to listen to that person anymore because it's just drama and it's something that they just want to keep on, they want to perpetuate that. So maybe you don't entertain it anymore because you got that vision in your mind now. And now you're working towards that. Okay. So that's how you jump the timeline. This is how we're going to make our year, the way we are looking to craft it. Okay. And again, if you want, do it a 6-month check-in, but just go out there and do and be and grow. Okay. Timelines are great. Deadlines are great, but the growing never stops. So in this case, at least for the first couple of months, for those who I need to do of course, you should always do self-reflection, but I just would like to see this portion right now just be free flowing. Just get you into the groove of daydreaming and imagining. You can even start off small. Imagine you getting home from somewhere faster than normal. I don't care if you get home 3 minutes earlier, right? It's a start. Just imagine clear road, visualize it. Clear roads, everything's moving fast. The roads are paved and smooth and good. You got your music lined up on your playlist. Everything is working. Just test that out a little bit. If you need a starting point. Okay. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Don't forget, if we are not connected on Instagram, I was about to wrap it up. Cosmic_witch_goddess. And the podcast is Enchantress_society on _society_podcast. on Instagram, and I'll post those links in the description. All right, so I am sending you so many blessings, lots of love. You know I'm rooting for you. Be kind to yourself. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, Magical One. Let's keep in touch. Join the VIP email list by going to tiamariejohnson.com. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you. And remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time.